Camera batteries usually don't have enough capacity to power a camera for longer periods of time, during a long interview for example. So oftentimes we need external power sources to keep the camera running. In this video I'm going to talk about two relatively compact external power solutions. One for a compact camera and optional monitor only setup, and one setup for when things like wireless transmitters need to be powered as well. Let's talk about it. If you're new here, I'm Sebastian and welcome to the channel where I talk about Lumix cameras and all things video and audio related. I typically use V-mount batteries when I need more power, but V-mounts are quite big and need some sort of rig to mount it to. Sometimes I want to keep the setup compact and mobile. That's where the solution I'm about to show you comes in. It's this Andycine NPF G2 battery plate. It takes NPF batteries, has a quarter 20 mount, a level indicator light and several ports, a 12 volt and 8.4 volt DC out and a USB-C power delivery port that's an output as well as an input, meaning that you can use it as a charger to charge your NPF batteries. Now there are quite a few similar plates on the market and they all have different layouts, ports and voltage or wattage limits. For me, this Andycine plate has the most useful configuration for me, though a second USB-C port would have been great. I mount it to the side of my cage where it also doubles as a support for holding the camera. But you could technically put it on the camera's hot shoe using something like this, same cold shoe mount, if you don't use a cage. It powers my GH6 via USB-C. And with an NPF 750, I'm able to run my GH6 for about 2 hours and 40 minutes before the NPF battery depletes and the camera switches to its own battery, which gives a total runtime of about 4 hours depending on the codec and frame rate the camera is recording in. In addition, I can power a monitor as well via the 8.4 volt or 12 volt DC output. Total runtime obviously decreases depending on the monitor used. I choose to power the camera via USB-C specifically because of redundancy. When the NPF battery dies, I lose power to the monitor, but the camera will keep rolling because it still has its own battery. On to the next solution then. The Portkeys BD1 is a solution I have never seen before. It's a double-sided reversible NPF dummy battery, and the double-sidedness of it comes in quite handy as you'll see in a minute. I do use this one with a V-mount battery. It comes with a locking barrel connector to D-tap cable, but it does have the option to supply it with power via USB-C. It can be used as a regular NPF dummy battery to power a monitor, but since it has two sides with connectors, it's possible to power this Schimbal wireless transmitter simultaneously. It can also be put into different orientations. Powering the monitor and transmitter via the BD1 has a few clear benefits. First one is that it saves cables and ports. There's just one cable going to the BD1 to power both devices. Second is that it saves space and weight on your rig because the BD1 doubles as the mount for the transmitter. Additionally, the Portkeys BD1 and Andycine battery plate can be combined to expand the number of ports, like this. However, I did give Portkeys some feedback on the BD1 about, for example, the screw that's holding the two pieces together and needs to be loosened to be able to rotate the two parts. It functions fine, but once it's all the way loose, it can fall out of this part, making it super easy to lose. The other thing I told them is that I think it would be really useful to have a protective cover for these contacts. That way, this half can be used as a dummy battery without the second half. I mean, it is possible to use it as it is right now, but then the contacts are exposed, which has the potential risk of causing short circuit, if something conductive touches a positive and a negative contact. You can find links to these products in the description if this is something that would work for you. I hope this video was helpful. If so, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel and maybe hit that notification bell, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.